Very good. Hey, everybody. This is Jeff Livingston with Cognitive Path, and I'm speaking with Ugur Tigli,
Yes.
the CTO at MinIO, or
That's correct.
or is it MinIO?
Both ways, that's fine.
All right.
MinIO.
MinIO.
Yeah.
First of all, let's find out a little bit about you. Are you local, or are
Sure.
you?
I'm kind of local, East Coast, based out of New York area. I was in financial services sectors for many years, Bank of America, Merrill Lynch, running their infrastructure services there. So before joining MinIO about 7 years ago, I'm the CTO at MinIO, and really happy to talk to you today.
Well, you just saw peak foliage leave New York, and here you are, and it's back, right?
Exactly.
All right. Well, welcome. So tell us a little bit about MinIO and what you guys are doing.
Yeah, MinIO is a software company. We are focusing on providing data persistency services for all data needs. What we have done at MinIO is the founder of MinIO and the core engineering team has written a high-performance distributed file system in their past life. And with AWS S3 APIs becoming the de facto standard for all applications in the last 10 years or so, many applications, let's put it, being the de facto standard, they wanted to start up a company that's going to be focusing on on-prem, software-only, S3 APIs as the main mechanism to provide data persistency. And at MinIO, we are doing high-performance distributed object store, to be technically correct. But in essence, we are the foundation of all data services, or from modern data lakes to modern data warehouses to AI workloads. Everything can be stored on MinIO from a data in an enterprise scale, cost optimized and very high performance.
So you guys are kind of the glue that keeps all these crazy data silos that enterprises might have
growing
together.
Data demands on every application, every enterprise, government sector. They need to store them somewhere.
Right.
And cloud is part of the solution, but not everything can be on cloud. And we see this a lot from the public sector. We see that in Europe and Middle East. Even though they have presence of cloud providers, they don't really want to put their data out on the cloud for various reasons.
Right.
Like the old school cloud is not secure type of a dynamic is not there anymore. We don't, technically speaking, I don't believe it's less or more secure. There are always incidents on-prem, incidents on the cloud. So people don't talk about that anymore, but for various reasons, they would like to, some of them are performance. They would like to keep their, especially with the AI workloads today, you don't really get the maximum performance you want to do for distributed training, for 100 gigabit NIC cards and things like that, unless you control your own data on the infrastructure. And you share, it's like a shared location. Cloud is it's not a destination, it's more like a kind of the framework that people apply to their applications and to their infrastructure. So we benefit from that. People want to control their data, especially with AI workloads. LLM plus RAG is a very up and coming trend that people would like to have their persistent data sitting on-prem under their control, and MinIO can help there because we can really optimize for performance as well as cost when you deploy it on your own servers using software-only model.
So you guys really have that hybrid multi-cloud type of solution.
Absolutely. So in essence, we can be run on a cloud, on a Kubernetes service, on an instance on a cloud. However, we can also be running on-prem on bare metal servers, just basic servers, on Kubernetes services or VMs, doesn't matter. Right. Since we are software only, we can be at the edge, we can be on a central data center. We have government agencies running us on air-gapped environments. And the largest military in Europe is running everything on MinIO and just trying to make sure that they have control over their data and make sure that they have policies and other things that they want to apply onto their data in their control rather than trying to put it onto a external provider. And the same thing goes for various industries as well.
Sure. Makes a lot of sense. So, you know, in my work, I talk a lot with organizations and enterprises about implementations, and they often think, boy, we're going to do all this great stuff, but then they have to look at their data.
Yep.
And when they get to that data step, it can be very, shall we say, revealing and problematic.
It just keeps on growing, and a lot of enterprises, a lot of people cannot have the process to control their data. It goes with process, people, and then technology. The whole data governance part is we are underneath, so we are kind of serving data and storing data and protecting data, replicating data, tiering data. All the infrastructure pieces are done by us. We are experts on that, and we do it very well. But that layer on top of us is critically important because it allows the data to grow in various ways that people cannot control. And once you control that data and couple it with a system like ours, you can get tremendous economic benefits as well as down the cycles of AI model deployment, for example. You don't have to spend all that time trying to search for the data. You can have an organized way of dealing with this, focus on the data you need, and reduce that AI deployment cycle tremendously.
Right. So in a way, you're really kind of bringing data hygiene to the organization.
Exactly. Also speed, right? The retrieval times for data increases, so they can do certain things that they didn't imagine before. With high performance data infrastructure like ours, you can get, for example, in our one of our largest customers, they are doing inference, they're doing distributed training, to be technically correct, and they have a 100 gigabit network, and they are feeding their GPUs tremendously. They have about 500 or so servers, and they push data from MinIO to their GPUs and tremendous amount of speed. They can get about 2.2 terabytes TB, capital TB, which is 10 times more than the biggest benchmark we have done. So in a 32 server benchmark, we can get about 300 gigabytes GB capital throughput on the reads, and this customer can get about 8 to 9x more than that and this shows that we are linear and we can provide a very high performance. And the data hygiene part is all about policy, process, people, and then they can use our policies to control that.
That's
we
great.
provide the tools for them to do the right thing. To do it or not is up to the process and people piece.
Sure. With AI really becoming a kind of catalyst technology, is it really forcing people to act on their data? Like it is kind of like a come to the you-know-what moment for them?
Absolutely, because everybody wants to win in the AI race. So everybody is after that killer app, what they need to show to their board, the CEO needs to show to the board in any enterprise, and then to the users. Like in financial services, all the big financial services came up with their internal AI apps, talking to their financial advisors, giving them, maybe you write a prompt and that prompt gives you a summary of all of the research papers for that financial services company. So because of this race, it's forcing people to do much more organized way of approaching the data from a data governance perspective, but not only that, they need high performance infrastructure to do better retrieval, better distributed training, and make sure that models are a commodity now.
Right.
Like you can get the models from anybody. Like there's a series sets of models everywhere you look, and that's given. That's kind of given. But you need to put your internal data injected into those models and get a relevant answer and increase the accuracy. And that's the piece we can help. That requires a lot of RAG. That requires a lot of distributed training to modify certain models or get them to the point that you need them to be as accurate as possible with your own data. So we help our customers there, and high speed and S3 API and cloud native type of an approach that we have helps tremendously.
Makes a lot of sense. Now, how's that manifesting itself with the government? This kind of need to get that data really.
Government require, first of all, it's air gapped. Most of our customers before AI has always been interested in MinIO because they wanted to put it on ships. They wanted to put it in a data center that's air gapped. They wanted to use software just to make sure that they control their data within their own four walls. So we were already popular within government across the globe. And in some of the government agencies in Europe and Middle East, they didn't want to use cloud providers. They use MinIO as an alternative for on-prem. So we started there with data lakes, the modern data lakehouse. this was all done for the last 10 years or so anyways with ML, machine learning, and other trends in the industry. It was all predictive AI. This has been done for many years. I mean, going back in my career, 15 years ago at Merrill Lynch, we were doing electronic trading, and that was predictive AI. There was machine learning algorithms were applied to that, and that wasn't anything rocket science at the time. And fast forward 15 years, it's still predictive AI. But generative AI, which goes back to 2.5, 3 years ago's ChatGPT coming to the top of mind for everybody, that changes everything. That changes everything, but it expands the data lakehouse, modern data infrastructure into vector databases. It's the data pipelines, Kubeflow, MLflow kind of pipeline expands the amount of data you need, the checkpointing for introducing more and more AI development cycle. And then you have Hugging Face, which is like you have to keep your models. It's the early days of GitHub, GitLab in a way. Yeah. And all of that data, people want to control it. They want it on-prem. And when it comes to government agencies, we see still a lot of the agencies, a lot of governments across the world still wants to control their own data centers. Even though there's government-type cloud offerings, and they are totally fine, but people more and more we see outside US, inside US, they want to control their RAG plus LLM type of approach in the AI infrastructure, and MinIO benefits from that tremendously.
Makes sense. All right, a little softball question then.
Yep.
What's your favorite AI app that everybody here needs to know about?
One of the common ones, I mean, my favorite is the search app. In terms of the AI, one of the AI search apps, I don't really have any favors per se, but I do like I've been playing a lot with Meta's AI apps in the labs that they have. The one that I like, actually, it's not an app, it's a demo type of app, is the translator app.
Oh, cool.
That takes my video and my voice and translates into a different language, but using my voice, my video. And it sounds like me, it sounds pretty confident, and it's pretty good. I translated from English to Spanish, and it sounded perfectly.
Oh, that's awesome. So, well, thank you for making it out here.
No problem.
All right. Pleasure to meet you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Cheers.
Thank you.